Good morning. Thank you for joining me for my regular Facebook Live stamping session. My name is Tracy Held and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne in Australia. If you follow my blog, traceofcreativity.com, you'll know what card we're going to make today. This was a card that I blogged on Thursday. It went live in sort of the really early hours of Thursday morning, and I promised that I was going to show you how to make it at my live today. So that's the card that we're going to be making. It opens up like that, so it's got that envelope look at the top. But of course I got new goodies this week, and as soon as you get new stuff you need to use it and play with it. So I'm going to change the stamps that we're using here. Although this card doesn't really use very many stamps, it's more about the dies this time around. But I'll show you what I'm using anyway. So this is coming in the new catalogue, Cheerful Daisies dies. Oh, try that again, Cheerful Daisies stamps. It does have Cheerful Daisies dies which coordinate with it. I'm going to use the Celebrating You for my sentiment. Now this is one of the stamp sets that's retiring. I haven't checked to see whether it's sold out or not yet, but if it's one that you want, it's got really nice sentiments, you need to get it pretty quickly. I'm also going to be using the Fresh as a Daisy DSP. I don't know whether you've seen it yet, but I'm going to just flip through it quickly so that you can see it. It's all these daisies and really nice designs. A lot of the new in colors are coming in here. So this sheet you can literally just cut into its different squares, stick it onto squares, rectangles, shapes, whatever they are, stick it onto a card and you're done, ready to go. I've got that one and that one, and then the reverse sides are all plainer. No, it's quite nice if you're teaming them up, put a busy side with a plain side. And then the only other thing that I'm going to use are these adhesive backed solid gems. So they're in Lemon Lolly Boho Blue, and I think that this is the new, oh, I can't remember the name of it, clay. This is part of that Fresh as a Daisy suite in the new catalogue. So if you love this, put it on your wish list. Catalogue goes live on the 2nd of May. I'm also going to be using a new colour, just by pure coincidence. We're going a bit yellow for both cards. So this is the new Lemon Lolly. I don't know if you can see that. It's a really pretty colour. It's a really soft yellow. This one was so saffron, so you can see the difference. It's a bit more orangey and darker. Okay, so let's get started on our card. We need to do a little bit of measuring. I am going to put all the measurements up in the description for you. Now, for this card, I've cut my width here when I cut my half sheet of paper fractionally shorter. So it's 14.8 centimeters instead of the regular 14.9. Okay, and we're going to measure to the middle. So 7.4 centimeters over here, and we're going 7.4 up the one side. I hope I'm going to be able to see my measurements, and 7.4 up the other side. Now, if you work in Imperial, it's your standard size card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to mark 2 3/4 at each of those marks. Now, pulling in my trimmer, we're going to score from mark to mark. So from that one in the center to the one up the side. I'm going to just score that. And the same on the other side. So mark on the side to the mark on the center. Okay, that's all our scoring done. Now, oh, don't know what that was. It must have been from when I was working here the last time. Something with sticky backs. Okay, so we're going to just fold our card in half as per normal. Grab the bone folder. Okay, and then we're going to fold up along those score marks. Give that a good press over there. And the same on that one. Okay, so our folds should meet in the middle. And then I've got a square of DSP, which is 9.5 by 9.5 centimeters, or it would be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inches. And what we're going to do is cut that in half, going from corner to corner. So you do want to be careful with this DSP that you do use something that is non-directional. You're going to have problems if it's directional. And then what I'm going to do is just put one piece aside, and with my other piece I'm going to cut it in half. So from that corner there, alright, there we go. That's all our cutting done now. Just want to give this, it will flatten as we're working with it and sticking flowers on, but let's just give it a good press anyway. Now what I'm going to do with this card is I'm going to use my floral pieces in the corner, and I'm going to use the reverse side, so just a plain pebbled path here on the front. If you wanted to, you could use your floral piece, but because I'm going to be sticking flowers all over it, I think that it's going to be a bit too much with the flowers and the floral background. Or you could use a completely different piece of paper instead of using the front and the back, but then you can make two cards because you'll have the half pieces from both. Now, we're just going to stick that over. Now you can leave this flap open, so you could put a gift card or something in the flap. I actually don't want to do that. I'm going to stick it closed once we do our flowers. So I could have stuck my pieces down, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just get all our sticking done. Now I've got just a strip of my lemon lolly paper, which is 1 centimeter, so it would be about 3/8 of an inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue just along the edge there and stick that on so that I've just got a little bit sticking out. So roughly half of it, but just it's easier to work with a bigger piece of paper. I just want to move that over slightly because I do want to be able to cut it so that it's got that edge in. Let's see if I can get that a little bit straighter. Okay, that looks not too bad, and we're going to just do the same with this other little quarter. And we're trying just to get roughly the same edge along there. And then I'm going to cut it, like I said, we're going to cut it. Okay, yep, directly along the edge here. There we go. So all that we've done is we've added that little border along the long edge of that triangle. Then I've got my piece for the insert, and I'm going to stick this that it's right in the two bottom corners. And giving that little edge just extends these pieces slightly, that they're going to be meeting up closer in the middle. If you didn't want that, you could leave it without that. And then we're going to stick this inside our card. There we go. Don't you like the yellow and the green together? I just think that, although green's not my favorite color, yellow and green is always such a good combination. Right, now, when we close it, we've got it all nicely meeting up like that. And I just need one more strip of DSP, which we're going to put at the top here. Now, I could use the reverse side of this. On this one, I actually used a completely different piece of paper to what I'd used for the others. But for this one, I'm going to just use the same daisy piece that I've used in the corners. So most of our flowers that we're decorating with are going to go on the top or over the pebble path, but we're just going to have that our top and our corners are in the same paper. Now let's get decorating. So what I've done with my dies is I've cut out, and it's always interesting when I haven't made the card, I don't know what colours are going to work, so I've cut out a whole heap of dies here where I just want to grab these in. So we've cut out the background with those ones, and then these ones here are the bits that go on the top. I would suggest that you use adhesive sheet with this. There's no way that I'm going to try and do this without adhesive sheet. So those are all stuck, but I did keep one just to show you to stick it on. Now these ones are some of those dies which actually are not symmetrical, so there is a right way and a wrong way to stick the layering over so that they fit. Just want to get this little center piece out. There we go. Now, for whatever reason, I did find that if I couldn't figure it out, it did seem to work easier for me to just take the actual die and lay it on top. That just seemed to be easier for me than trying to figure it out with the piece of paper. But now for this one, I've got it figured out that little sort of those shorter petals there tie up with these shorter petals on the top. So once you've figured out where that goes, then they just sit on easily. Okay, and now it's a matter of playing, because I don't really know how we want these or which colors we want. I'm going to start with my bigger flowers at the back. Alright, let's go those two. I said, I wasn't sure which colours were going to work, and told you that I'm sticking this closed. If you wanted to put something inside it, you can, but for me, I don't want to, so I'm not concerned. Otherwise, if you do want to pop something inside that pocket, then just make sure that when you're sticking these flowers, you're only putting glue on the bottom of the flower. And then we'll put some of the little daisies. Decisions with the daisies. Those can go there. I'm going to stick those ones flat as well. Now it doesn't matter what your cards are. As soon as you change colors or change flowers, they sort of take on a life of their own and do what they want to do. So with this one, because we've got the floral paper here, I'm not going to put anything extra on top of it. I'm just going to leave that paper standing up on its own. But I am going to put a sentiment at the bottom, and seeing that we're coming up for Mother's Day and it's top of mind at the moment, I'm going to use that Happy Mother's Day sentiment. And this label is from the Cheerful Daisies dies. It is a really nice shape, and I want a little bit of colour on the back of my label, so my normal Old Faithful favourite trick, we're going to just cut that in half and layer it behind so that we've just got a bit of colour peeping out. Now these dies are stitched, so that's quite nice when you're doing this, because you can actually line it up with the edge of the stitching, so you know exactly where to place them. And I don't know whether it's really necessary, but I always feel like there is a right side and a wrong side to the stitching, so just watch which way you want it to go. So that I'm going to put there, but I'm actually going to put another little flower like right on the bottom here, so that's going to go underneath my sentiment. Sentiment needs dimensionals. Now I did cut out some of these little leafy twiggy spriggy things, which we can put a few on if we want to. Let's see, maybe I can get one under there. And don't be scared if they're too long or you don't want them where they are, just cut them off. You're allowed to. Oops, there we go. And you can use the offcuts somewhere else. I'm going to put one more flower. I'm going to use the Lemon Lolly one. Pop it onto a dimensional and put it over there. And of course we need some bling. So I'm going to use the Lemon Lolly dots with the crushed curry flowers. We'll use the copper clay. There we go. Just thought of the name of it that I couldn't think of earlier. I'll use the copper clay dots. On the others. Just slipping underneath the sentiment over there. And I'm going to put one of the smaller copper clay ones over here. Right. Okay, so I did have extra flowers, but there we go. Same card, different flowers, gives it a completely different look. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you've liked this card. Okay. I see I've got a comment from Roz. Roz, I had to try the Daisy Sweet with this. It was just screaming at me, and then it's a matter of picking your colours because they're all new colours to get used to. But I think I'm quite happy with the green and yellow, how that one worked out. So thanks for joining me. If you like this Daisy Sweet and you do live in Victoria, I am having a weekend craft retreat on the 16th of June in Rye, and the whole retreat is going to be working with this Fresh as a Daisy Sweet. So there are limited spaces, but if you want to join, please shoot me an email, traceofcreativity@outlook.com, or send me a message on my Facebook, and I will give you more information on that. Have a good week.